In the fall, a man likes to hit the open road. In fact, spring doesn't tickle his fancy half as much as autumn. Once he's past the city limits, a man on Milltown becomes a happy-go-gas-free guy on the loose in old tweeds and flannels. He'll be content like this till it snows. But unlike the male species, the female thinks of just one thing when cool days arrive. She doesn't pine for nature at all. She heads for town to shop for new clothes. Here, for instance, is a guy with designs on all women. He's one of America's top illustrators, and he's working on a diagonal weave coat. And if you want to know what the big accessory color is, it's taxi cab yellow. Now, I don't know what a woman wants in clothes, but I know what a man must inevitably pay for. So for more fashionable reporting, you'd better turn to a gal.
Oh, now don't be bitter. Look how very soft-spoken we must be this season. Who could utter a word in the new muffled-up look? It's pure Scotland Yard. If you wear a suit this fall, it will undoubtedly be shaped to the body. And thank heaven we won the battle. Suits will have sleeves this winter. Now, here's a whole group of private eyes from Scotland Yard, and they all have the muffled look and yards of coating. Giant stand-up-and-fight-the-wind collars, cuddle-me-baby collars. One of the great influences in hats this season is the Cossack hat. But Cossack or not, hats are impressive. Here's a giant houndstooth suit. A country suit becomes city slicker. All the fur you see for autumn will remind you of feeding time at the zoo. If it's not a leopard collar, it's a hat. If it's not a cuff, it's a belt. A new syncopated fashion beat and a really new trend called fabric-trimmed furs. I think I'll settle for a mink Band-Aid. Nanook of the North in navy blue. And it's the beginning of winter maneuvers for the Navy. Looks like there'll be no battle at all. Shades of the old movie queens. You might as well face it, the late movies have had their influence. This is the Jean Harlow coat, belted and tied low. Better eat Metrocal wafers until you locate your hip line. And this is the Marlene Dietrich polo coat, swiped from the movie Desire. Sweet as log cabin syrup, these Vermont-colored suits are made for crisp maple leaf days. Notice the accentuated bosoms. No man can complain about this. And the coats have the tailoring of a riding habit, their skirts handsomely flared. This year, fashion might even let you board a bus or climb a fence. Comfort is fashion this year. Even little Carolyn has something fur-trimmed. Children now come with every chic party. This handsome suit is definitely elongated, has a rectangular back, and the stole is lined with nutria. If you're like the Scotch, you'll love this giant clan plaid. Wide box pleats, fits like skin, muffled too. Big boy looks in fitted jackets, wide lapels. Christmas colors, green and a bright red. Belted suits are as tailored as a man's Bond Street suit. And this is a place where elegant ladies lunch and make more plans for future luncheons. What a life. None of these pretties has ever heard of junior or PTA or garbage. Here, blue and more green in costumes, suits, dresses. And fur on top of fur. Here's the chairman and her guest speaker, and they look like fashion book covers. Both of these are dresses made of coatings and worn like suits. That's really female psychology at its progressive best. One of the big threads weaving its way through fashion is the costume, a dress and a coat, molded more to the shape of you than they have been. Another costume, a dress with a side-button jacket. One thing we know for sure, no one in the world is better and less expensively dressed than the American woman. Here's why.
In factories such as this one, our great American apparel industry uniquely combines mass production with skilled craftsmanship. An industry without parallel anywhere in the world. It produces well-made, up-to-the-minute fashions for all ages, all tastes, all budgets. And here is its symbol, the ILGWU label, signature of the 450,000 skilled men and women who make up the International Ladies Garment Workers Union and who help to keep American women and girls the best dressed in the world. Americans producing for Americans.
This is New York's answer to Disneyland, Freedomland. Here, posing in front of the sheriff's office, the sweater knit look, with that famous old and slow friend, the turtleneck, belted in calf. And 3 Freedom suits show the soft but crisp tailoring our American designers are famous for. Are jackets shorter, waistlines more evident? We say yes. Skirts have deep pleats, are easy to move in. Hemlines, for your information, are just about the same. You may not ever take a good picture, but maybe your dog does. This is called RCA, or the Really Cool American in pretty pink. For plaza posing, the smart winter dress is a princess pyramid. Don't call the fire department. These sirens will never cause a wail. In the fall, the leaves turn yellow, but the ladies turn to red. Red is a color, so say the psychologists, that is a sheer expression of one's need to be noticed. So try it in the new elongated suit. See the adoring eyes of that husband? Or you might like the Garbo coat, or the flare of the Lord Byron cape. If you want to feel really contemporary, try the newest look called Modern Museum. It's all color, shape, and contrast. Fashion reflecting our time. In fact, if you look this good, they had better assign a guard to you instead of the pictures. Here at this exhibit, a handsome model poses a problem. Can you tell where the painting ends and the fashion begins? One way Cafe Society goes espresso this season is in the female tux. Black and white. The black is broadtail. The autumn cocktail uniform looks like this. The waistline runs the gamut of natural to Empire to real Empire to the hip bone overblouse. Ah, the big night. And just try and get a cab for that big evening. But if Cinderella makes it to the Boston Cotillion or the Junior League Ball or to an embassy receiving line, she's going to look like this. She'll wear lavish coats and muffled stoles. And look, her fabrics have never had such glitter. Here are some guests trying to figure out who the hostess is. Yellow, oranges, reds, golds, and every dress has its coat mate. Chandelier touches on dresses make you light up the room. Fashion reflects bugles and beads and sequins and crystals. In one, it's hard to sit down, and in the other, you must take 1-inch steps. But this is precisely what makes a woman happiest. Satins, brocades, even woolen lands in the evening wardrobe. And here's how America celebrates the arrival of a debutante or the exit of an ambassador. The only problem, does a husband have to go on charity to dress his wife this way? Here are some of our prettiest types. The Byzantine woman. The Lillian Russell bustle. The glitter and glow crowd. Moon River silk and the mermaid dress. Her husband in his 13-year-old dinner suit. And at last, here is a perfect evening dress for the woman who likes to look simple and casual even at formal events. Little Lord Fauntleroy velvet in a sugar plum shade. There is nothing like blackmail, and here are two marvelous black thoughts for nightlife. When a sequined red dress enters this scene, it's called rouge et noir. The more back you show this year, the better. And both these bare backs are bare facts, courtesy of the Kimberly Diamond Mine. And this for great exits, a poncho in pinata pink that's typical of the excitement and originality and superb craftsmanship the American woman finds in the fabulous fashions produced by American designers and skilled American workers.